Why did I keep drinking? My family celebrated every event with alcohol. Celebration meant drinking. Drinking meant celebration. My Mexican relatives would call me India, and my native relatives would call me Mexican. I wasn't always comfortable with who I was, and I felt like I didn't belong. So I turned to drinking, doing drugs, and rock and roll. It was wearing a coat of armor, and I wore it well. I had my first drunk at 15 at my neighbor's house. I liked the way it felt, and from that moment on, I was hooked. The more we drank, the louder we got, and I forgot that my parents' bedroom window was across from the neighbor's. I hid in the bathroom, and my mom found me. I knew what was going to happen next. As I got older, I was willing to get a beating for that drink. 2 years later, my father was killed in a car accident. My whole world changed. I was in so much pain. I was angry. I was mad at the Creator for taking my dad. I became defiant against authority and society. I drank to hide my pain. I didn't know what to do with my future. I just let myself get lost in drinking where everything would be okay. I wanted to be drunk for the rest of my life. When I was 18, I thought, man, now I can drink with the adults all night long. Our house became the party house. I drank hard. I remember being drunk for 6 straight weeks. I got real sick and even had the shakes. By the time I hit my 20s, I knew I had to change. I had a baby girl when I was 22, and I knew that I didn't want her to grow up in a house where there was no future. So I left. We moved to Michigan in the summer of 1989. Leaving my mother was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. We were poor, but we had each other. In that time, I had a son with my life partner of 27 years. I accumulated 2 DUIs back to back. I was looking at doing some jail time for the second offense. There was a law that just came into effect that if you had 3 DUIs, the third DUI became a felony. I knew I would get a third DUI if I didn't quit my drinking. Here I am, solitary, in a room with a bed and a toilet in the corner. Is this the end? I had too much to lose. My children, my job, and my self-respect. I don't want this anymore. I thought about all the times I was in trouble or all the bad things that happened because of my drinking. I was on my knees crying. I said, Creator, please help me. I surrender. And then, all of a sudden, a light came through the slats of the window. I felt a release from my bondage. The Creator was with me and heard me. My first year of sobriety was so hard. I lost my 35-year-old brother to suicide. I remember holding my sobriety coin so hard in my pocket and thinking, I'm going to have a drink if my sister has a drink. In later years, I found out that my sister thought the same thing about me. We never had that drink. Staying sober has its trials and tribulations, but I know that my walk will always be safe as long as I have prayer and faith. Today, I have 20 years of sobriety. I am a grandmother, and I was fortunate to know both of my grandmothers. One was named Mama Maria. and Grandma Ish. I have never seen either one drunk. They were nourishing to their grandchildren and always had food to feed us. One lived in the city and the other in the country. I had a stronger connection with my Grandma Ish. I remember as a small girl in the early morning sitting on the steps with Grandma Ish. She was smoking her pipe, and I asked if I could smoke it. She never told me no. She showed me how to smoke the pipe the proper way. I did not know she was praying. I was overjoyed and felt so big at that point. I loved her gentleness and willingness to teach me that I could do anything. My grandchildren have never seen me drunk, and now it's my turn to teach them how to live in Minobamazuin, the good life. I'm a proud Mexican and Anishnaabek Kwe. Nibiana Kwe and Dishnakas, Makwe and Dodom, Grand Rapids and Dojaba, Ojibwe Kwe and Thou. My prayer is to stop the cycle of addictions in my family for the next generation. Oh,